This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
The World Cup is back and Football Weekly is going daily. From the goals and the glory to the politics and the problems, join me, Max Rushton, and our expert panel every day of the tournament. World Cup Daily, listen on Spotify now and watch the full episodes on YouTube.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And good morning. Dominic Carter here with you. You won't believe it. The woman I called pork chop. Wait until you hear the very latest about her. She's going national. As a matter of fact, international. I'll explain in just a moment. Well, the test of a socialist, as polls are open in New York in about 5.5 hours from now. The socialist mayor of New York City, Mamdani. This guy is slicker than slick. So it turns out the model city, Kansas City, Missouri, that he based his free buses plan on, that plan has gone belly up. It's not working. They don't have the money in Missouri, and he wants to bring it to New York. But Mamdani takes it a step further. In 5.5 hours, polls will be open, and he has endorsed in a number of congressional races political novices, which is a no-no, up against primarying traditional Democrats. And if he's successful in any of these races, he'll have another socialist ally, but this time in Washington. It's very interesting what this guy is trying to do. Very, very interesting. President Trump ripping into a reporter who claimed Iran still has leverage over the U.S. They don't have leverage. What they are is crazy, which makes the playing field in this negotiation quite different, all right? Because these guys play by their own set of rules. Plus the father of Austin Metcalf speaking out, the victim in the racially polarizing Carmelo Anthony case. Anthony, of course, just sentenced to 35 years in prison. I want to pick back up from the 3 p.m. show. And the phone lines are open, and I see some of you already want to talk about the horse carriages issues. I'll explain in just a second. The number to reach us live right now, 800-848-9222. But I want to continue on 2 topics that we discussed earlier. And the first one happens to be General Motors in Detroit cutting 1,000 jobs to be replaced by 50 robots.
Big news from GM's EV plant. They just laid off 1,000 workers. The reason? More robots. It's happening now. Automation replacing human jobs. Is this the future for American manufacturing? How will your job be impacted by the rise of the machines?
And so obviously we all want human beings to have jobs, but if on the productivity front, I don't know if the robots are better. I don't know, folks. What do you think? 800-848-9222. Now, a highly contentious issue, and it's something that plays out in many cities. Recently here in New York, a young man was thrown from a horse-drawn carriage and killed. And the horse took off, was scared and ran away. Something startled the horse, and the man was killed. And a vigil was held just a few hours ago as horse carriage rides are set to resume today. in New York City. This is a report from the ABC affiliate, TV affiliate here in New York.
The family of an 18-year-old tourist thrown from a Central Park horse carriage wants the city to take action.
The Carriage Drivers Union says it's doing safety training, but the teenager's family says that is not enough. They won't rest until authorities ban the horse carriages in the park.
And politicians and advocates gather there in a show of support.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim has more on the controversy and the response from the mayor's office.
This is 18-year-old Ramansh Mahajan, the tourist from India killed last week after being thrown from a horse carriage in Central Park. As advocates who have been pushing for a horse carriage ban for more than a decade mourn his loss, the victim's family is calling for the city to act.
What happened last week is a stain to our city.
Councilmember Christopher Marte, who introduced Riders Law, which would ban horse carriages, announcing today he is changing the name of the bill to Ramansh's Law.
Why aren't we taking action immediately?
The council member reading a statement from the victim's family to Mayor Mamdani, which reads in part, "The industry responsible for my nephew's death is preparing to resume passenger tours this Tuesday, treating the loss of Ramansh's life as a temporary inconvenience. This is a profound insult to our family and a direct threat to the public safety of every tourist and resident in New York City. We demand that you use the full power of your office to halt the resumption of these rides immediately, allowing horse carriages back on the streets while our family is planning a funeral, proves that the city values tourism over human life."
And so the city of New York, Mayor Mamdani, apparently wants to shut down the horses. But obviously this is something that will play out in the courts either way. And I don't know why, but it invokes a strong emotional perspective from each side on this issue. So I could play it either way. But the one thing I can say is when I'm driving along 57th Street and I look across the street and the horses are there right across from Central Park, the horses, especially on a hot day, but even when it's not hot, the horses seem to have a look on their face like, please help me. I've been out here for hours. I want to relax. I want to take it easy. I'm being overworked. And you feel bad for them. But the advocates for the horse carriage industry constantly point out if these horses were not out on the street, the tourism thing, they would be part of a glue factory. The horses would not be alive. 800-848-9222. We'll get to President Trump on Iran in a moment, but I want to start with some of your telephone calls. Line 1, Joseph in Manhattan. Joseph, what's on your mind?
On your national afternoon show, Dominic, you talked about the carriage horses in Manhattan, New York City, Central Park. Well, here, Dominic, in New York City, the children in the borough of Queens, they might be able to see horses in the Queens Zoo. Same as the children in the Bronx. They might go to the Bronx Zoo and see children.
Joseph, what does that have to do with horse? You're talking apples and oranges here. What does that have to do with horse carriages?
The children in Manhattan get to see the horses in Central Park.
Joseph, are you okay? Is something wrong with you? You do understand we're talking about completely different issues here. We're talking about horses that are being used for manual labor for Americans, for tourism, to give rides around Central Park. And you're talking about horses on display in a zoo. We're talking apples and oranges here.
When people are bringing the children in Manhattan, and some of the tourists even want to take pictures.
Okay, what does that have to do with the horses in Central Park?
Well, what they might want to have the horses still being here.
I'm speechless, Joseph. Do you understand that you're not even talking about what I'm discussing right now?
We are talking about one accident with the horse. I feel sorry for the horses when they are tired. I don't want to see the horses going to the glue factory. But sometimes,
okay, but you can't. Wait a minute, Joseph. But you can't have it both ways. So which one is it?
I want the children in Manhattan to still have the carriage horses in Central Park, New York City, Manhattan.
Okay, well, whether you say children, it's children, adults. So you're saying that the horses should still be out there. Joseph, you're wasting a lot of airtime. Can just get to the point, please. What are you saying?
We want to be able to have the children, if they are in New York City.
Joseph, okay. Joseph, I'm going to try this
pictures.
one last time. I'm going to try it one last time, and then I'm going to move on, because evidently I'm not connecting with you. Do you want the horses to take people, tourists, New Yorkers in Central Park? Yes or no?
Yes, Dominic, yes.
Okay, thank you for the call, Joseph. Let me switch back for a second, folks. We can call that when radio calls go bad, go terribly bad. That's an example of that. Oh, my God. I want you folks to listen to this, and we see all the other calls coming in now, 800-848-9222. President Trump on the issue of Iran. He was not happy when a reporter claimed Iran still has leverage over the U.S.
If Iran doesn't live up to their agreement, or if they're not behaving, I will do what I have to do.
Does that give them leverage over you, Mr. President?
Say it?
Does that give them leverage, the Iranians' leverage over you?
Oh, you're so leverage. You know, their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their leaders are all dead. Their whole country is a mess. Their economy is shot. The Times, the fake New York Times said, oh, it's about the same as it was 4 months ago. No, 4 months ago they had a Navy, 159 ships to be exact. It's gone. The whole Navy's gone. Their 250 airplanes, all gone. Their anti-aircraft is gone. Their radar is gone. These guys love radar. Their radar is gone. Everything's gone. Their leaders are gone. Their whole country is gone. And the Times said, oh, they're about the same as they were 4 months ago. And the reason the news is doing so badly, or let's put it another way, the reason that I won in a landslide, even though I got 92% negative press, all fake press, is because nobody believes the press anymore. And they have to start believing. You know, when the Times and a couple of others, they're grasping for straws. When they say that Iran is about the same as it was 4 months. 4 months ago, they had a powerful Navy, they had a powerful Air Force. You know, most of their missiles are gone. Most of their launching pads are gone. Most of their manufacturing capacity for drones and missiles is gone. About 87% gone. And then I hear, oh, they're in such great shape. No, they're gone. And their first level of leaders, gone. Their second level of leaders, gone. Their third level of leaders, you have to hear the conversations. Who wants to be president? Well, I don't want it. Nobody wants to be president.
So it's interesting. You know, I don't know what to make of this Iran situation, folks, but I do know that, well, they are bat-you-know-what crazy over there. And I put all my faith in the president of the United States. I really do, in the Trump administration. I've got to take a break. When we come back, the father of Austin Metcalf, the young man in Texas, he's speaking out. He's not holding his tongue. I do want to say this. On line one, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I will never take your telephone call again. And call screeners, you should know this by now. Come on, guys. We got to be on our A game. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
I wrote a little song to remind you. Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Looking for a protein shake that tastes as good as it performs? Meet Rockin' Protein Max. Packed with 50 grams of fuel, it'll help you keep up when your day won't slow down. And because it's always creamy and never chalky, every sip tastes great. Even better, it's lactose-free and has 0 added sugar. It's not every day you find a protein shake you actually want to finish. Catch Rockin' Protein in the dairy cooler at a store near you. Rockin' Protein and Shamrock Farms are registered trademarks of Shamrock Foods Company.
Need a laptop that's built to perform and designed to last all day? Select Windows 11 PCs starting at $499.99 are now at Best Buy. Learn more at bestbuy.com. Best Buy. Imagine that.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And back to the phones we go. Line 2, John in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Good morning, John. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. Thank you for taking my call. I've lived in Brooklyn almost all my life, moved to Lancaster in the last 4 years. We have a group here called the Amish, and they drive around in horse and buggies all over the place. The
Amish is not just in Pennsylvania. You have some far upstate New York near the Canadian border. They're in many places, but Ohio as well. But go ahead.
Absolutely correct. And they're out on the road all the time. And maybe once a year you hear of a tragedy. Unfortunately, it's them involved with a car. But they're driving horses all over the place. They treat the horses decently. They let them have a break during the day, and they run around and stuff. I think maybe the people in Central Park.
But John, can you really compare that, John? John, can you really compare that? It's almost like a ridiculous argument to Manhattan.
Well, there are sections in Lancaster where you have tractor trailers going down these little one-lane roads, and that going right up next to the horses, and they've been trained enough and practiced enough that they don't react.
So you're telling me that a tractor in Lancaster, Pennsylvania is the equivalent of the car horns, the nonstop noise, the traffic of Manhattan?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's got to be some kind of stress reduction for the horses there. Because the police department used the horses, and they're under stressful conditions and riots.
John, I don't think you're getting it. The police horses, they may be out once a day at best, and they receive the best of the best of the best of care. You can't compare a police horse to these horses that are in Central Park. The horses in Central Park are worked all day long.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be some way of relieving them of their stress, giving them rest periods, cooling centers, and good food and good treatment. Maybe they need to increase the horse population and rotate the horses better. I know that would cost them more.
Right. The bottom line, though, is the dinero. If you happen to own one of these companies, John, are you going to be willing to double your overhead?
Well, unfortunately, if they want to continue in business, it'll be passed on to the people who are willing to pay those carriage rides.
Right, but I'm sure if you talk to the carriage owners, they'll tell you they're barely making it as is. So I don't know, but I hear you, John. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Eddie in Babylon, line 1. Eddie, what's on your mind?
Dominic, it's really, really deep, but you get into the issues, and I thank you. Happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Eddie.
You're welcome. So my brother-in-law's sister got raped in Iran. She was raped. And you know what I'm not going to ask you, the punishment for that here is something else, but there it is. The woman gets stoned. They dig a hole and they throw stones at her. Thank God his father was a good religious cleric, and he had it reversed. And she took care of her parents and never went outside because she was a soiled dove then. Can you imagine?
Wait, Eddie. Eddie, I want to make sure I got this right. You're telling me that a woman that's raped in Iran, they stone her? I find that very hard to believe. I've heard women being stoned in Iran for committing adultery and things like that. But you're telling me that a woman is raped, they blame the victim?
Yes, sir. She's the victim. Why? Because it's inconceivable, my friend. Inconceivable. It's a sick country. God bless America.
I've never heard this before. I'm not saying that it's not. I've heard it for women that commit adultery and other things, but never for a woman that's raped. Thank you for the call, Eddie. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are back. So we're talking Iran, horse carriages in New York City in particular, but they are in many cities. We're talking about the congressional primaries in which polls are open in New York City in about 5 hours, a little more than 5 hours, about 5.5 hours. But what's interesting, and I'm all over the place here, and we're going back to your telephone calls. We see your calls, 800-848-9222. So Jim Dolan, the owner of the world champion New York Knicks, it sounds odd even saying that, has announced that he's taking his team to the White House to meet with President Trump. And he's the owner. He can do whatever he wants to do with his team. Charlemagne the God, a personality, appeared on The View TV show, and he says that players should be able to decide for themselves whether or not they want to go.
You know, listen, I think that they're all grown adults and they can do what it is that they want to do. But if they're not going, I would like for them to tell us the reason why. Like, you know, we know that no NBA team has won a championship and has visited the White House thus far. But you should let folks know, hey, if it's a political reason why you don't want to go, let them know the reason, right? Because I think sometimes, you know, we normalize what's going on in the White House because we don't speak out about it. Like, don't tell me that it's just a scheduling conflict, right? You know what I mean? Like, give me the actual reason. Give me the actual reason why it is you don't want to be there.
So, Charlemagne, you need to go sit down and stop discussing politics because you don't know what you're talking about. I hate to be that blunt, but it is what it is, folks. So now talking about blunt, and let's switch gears to oversized. Matt Blaze, why did you put this on me, Matt Blaze? And that is pork chop. Why did you do this with your Guns N' Roses T-shirt on today?
Oh, I saw pork chop. Oh, let me tell you about this beauty. She got the blonde hair, and when I say blonde hair, I mean yellow, like the sun. Yellow hair.
But you know, Matt Blaze,
and she's proud, man. She's like,
she's proud.
She's
but
proud.
Maybe our listeners are correct.
You'll hear what
maybe our listeners are correct because a number of women told me she doesn't care that we could see the rear of her vagina. She doesn't care that we could see her very large derriere, the size of about 10 women. She doesn't care that the other woman pulled her shorts down and her thong disappeared. We won't say where it went because I don't even know. This was at the Knicks parade. And now TMZ has picked up this lady. What is going on in the world, man?
I think your thong went into the abyss somewhere. I don't know. But she is proud. I told you this. All she cares about is the attention. And she was like, oh, there, you'll hear what she has to say. And she is not backing down. She is loving every bit of this. I am telling you, she's going to turn into something. She's going to go out and do more stuff because look how much attention she is getting for this.
Right, but her claim to fame is that she's on a traffic pole at the Knicks parade.
Twerking.
Well, she gets pulled down.
Right.
No, she pulled the petite lady, right? The petite lady, she throws the petite lady off the pole. They're like battling for spots. And the petite lady comes up behind her and pulls her shorts and 100 men are standing there, not a single whistle, nothing. Everybody's standing there with their mouth wide open.
Yeah, they were just like,
she pulls down her shorts. Right. We see her thong. The thong disappears. What was that song? Thong, song about thongs. Ooh, that girl is scandalous. Something about you can't handle it, right? It reminds me of this situation. So I want you folks to listen to this. Matt Blaze got me into this. No, he didn't get me into this. I'm just giving him a hard time. But when I first saw her derriere, I said, this lady's had about 10 too many pork chops per meal. And she is proud as can be. And now TMZ has picked up her story.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're going to pull at my ankle, almost cause me to fall back, right? Now I'm in my head, like now that my hands is coming down close to you, you're going to try to take my hands off so I can fall. So before you give the chance for me to fall, I'm going to meet you on the floor. Come on, baby girl, you're going to go first. I was still on the pole while I was still trying to come down. After I threw her, she started pulling and yanking at me, trying to pull my underwear off, my pants off, all of those things. So let's not forget about that. And hitting me. She was punching me. She was hitting me in my head. And it was like, oh, gosh. And I'm still twerking. I'm twerking. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just twerk and make the best out of this situation. I got into a split. I was having a good time. And she was still angry. So it got to a point to where, okay, now I have to defend myself. It's not fun anymore. She's really angry.
And she was saying some unkind things to you, right?
Very much so. Very much so. I am the biggest, fattest, blackest she ever met, apparently. Gorilla. If you see her motion, she was like, you're a girl. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, what is her problem? I was dancing and I was having a good time. I didn't care what she had going on because I came out there for fun. I came out for the Knicks. I came out there to have a good time. So no one is going to stop me from having a good time, and nobody's going to change my mood or my aura, who I am. This could have been a bad situation for me had I did fall when she pulled my legs, but it didn't. So just thank you for the support and understanding and seeing my part, that I'm not an angry person, you know?
So, Matt Blaze, I got to tell you, man, I've never been a topless bar type guy. It does nothing for me, seriously. And after seeing this woman, when the little petite woman pulled her shorts and her thong, all I could say was, ew. I didn't see anything appealing about this. Why are you laughing?
Because did you hear her? She is happy as can be. She's like, I was just having a good time, and this little petite girl trying to pull me down, and I was just having a good old time, and I went with it, and she got angry, and I was just happy and having fun. She's like, she's the life of the party. I think I want to meet this girl. Maybe we should have her on.
No. We're not going that far. But she started twerking on the guardrail. After
on the pole,
most women would have taken off running after their rear asset was exposed and everything that God gave them.
No, not old pork chop. She laid right into it. He says, I am going to show the world who I am. Hear me roar.
Oh, man.
I just like that you were calling her pork chop.
I got a headache, Blaze, because then when you have to laugh at this, you know why? Because if you don't laugh, you're going to start crying. How did we get to this point?
How could you not laugh at this? Listen, this girl
she's a misfit.
but she's
uneducated.
Yeah,
any fool can be happy.
Well, listen, sometimes, they say ignorance is bliss. You have no idea that you're out there, that people are maybe they're laughing at you, maybe they don't like you, and you're just happy as can be, just living life. You don't even care what anyone else says. And so she's just doing her thing. She don't care.
Most girls I know women would have ran away knowing that their body, particularly that part of their body, had been exposed to 100 men. And it didn't bother her at all.
No, it did not.
But where did the thong go?
She's waiting for around 2001, A Space Odyssey. Somewhere out there.
She had on an orange thong. Oh, I guess for the Knicks, the color of the Knicks.
Right.
But it disappeared.
They're still trying to find it?
Yeah.
A search party?
Yeah, but you're going to need one for pork chop. But just do me a favor. If you ever meet her, tell her to lay low on the pork chops, to give up the fried pork chops.
Oh, if I meet her, I'm going to say Dominic Carter is your biggest fan. Biggest fan.
All I can say is ill. So now I see William in Central New Jersey wants to talk about the horses. Let's go to line one. William, what's on your mind, William?
Hey, Dominic, thanks for taking my call. I was thinking, I had this idea that came to me, like, why can't they, take those horses? Like, remember they would, like, during, in Princeton around Christmas time, they would always bring horses and carriages in. And I was thinking, why can't they bring them to, like, seaside resort towns, like a blighted community like Atlantic City, where they could, like, bring those horses down there and use it as a tourist device to draw more people, even in Coney Island.
Okay, but William, but then what happens in Central Park in New York?
Well, they're gonna be out because, like, they're being pushed out of there. They don't want to be there, so they have to investigate other avenues where.
Oh, wait! Who says they don't want to be there? The horses can't talk. Who says they don't want to be there?
There's such a mass uproar about the poor horses. Okay, we get that, Dominic. I completely understand that. So they need to be removed, but I don't want them to go to the glue factory, and I don't think they're going to wind up on, in some grazing fields up in where, like these locations in Pennsylvania. That's not going to happen. So they have to investigate other locations in the tri-state area where these horses can continually work and they could still be making money. So they can't just say, we're staying here and that's it. They have to think outside the box.
I don't have the solution to this. I can only tell you, and thank you for the call, William. I can only tell you that when I drive by, the horses have a look on their face like, please save me. I'm thirsty. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm tired of pulling this carriage for 8 hours a day. Who knows how long those horses are out there. Donnie in the city of New York says it's time for them to go. But, of course, they have a strong lobby, so who knows what's going to happen. Let's switch gears and talk about the Carmelo Anthony case for a moment. So the young man that was murdered, right? So you have the African-American 19-year-old that's in prison right now. And we have the father of Austin Metcalf, the 17-year-old former football player that was stabbed to death. And his father, and in my opinion, rightfully so, is speaking out. Do I agree with everything the father says? He's used one or two racial slurs. No, but I think that we have to give the father a little bit of a pass because this man lost his son in a very brutal way. And in speaking to Fox News, he says that the family of Carmelo Anthony has shown zero remorse after his son was murdered, stating that they instead decided to play the race card.
I was hoping we could show the world this wasn't a racial divide thing, that we could kind of close the gap instead of widening it. But at that point, they'd obviously retained the services of Dominic Alexander, a convicted baby-shaking felon advocate who decided to throw me out of the press conference, had me removed by police, and then proceeded to gaslight me and tell me how I was such, I can't remember the word he used, but that I shouldn't have been there, and it was not dignified to my son or myself, which I really couldn't quite understand as they proceeded to gaslight me. And also took there was a young lady who has followed the case also from the entire time. Her name is Sarah Fields. Also showed information about her. That's when they took it from any type of remorse, which they did not show, to the fact of now we're going to play the race card. And now we're going to politicize this. Now we're getting a political activist involved. The two things I said on one of the first interviews I ever did was, please don't make this about race and please don't politicize it. But they chose to do both.
And your goal that day was to simply get together and pray?
All I wanted, yeah. I was actually hoping to show them, hey, look, man, I know what happened was terrible. And your son made a horrible mistake. I was hoping for some accountability maybe and some remorse. Neither one was shown.
Have you ever spoken to the Anthonys?
No.
No apology, no remorse?
Nothing.
You were telling me you were inside the courtroom, quite obviously. After the verdict, the Anthonys left. They weren't there for Carmelo's sentencing.
That is correct. They weren't there for the sentencing, and they were not there for victim impact statements. They left that poor child up there by himself. As soon as the verdict was read, he was guilty. His family and some other advocates left the courtroom and turned in their badges.
So let me just tell you folks quickly why the father is accurate here. I remember it well when this first happened. He did try to downplay the race element. He tried his best. He tried his best not to inflame this situation. The family of Carmelo Anthony, they really need to be ashamed of themselves for how they've handled this situation from start to finish. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
Best gift ever.
A Lego set is a gift that always clicks. And clicks.
Woo, next level.
And clicks. For kids who love gaming, choose a Lego set. The gift that always clicks.
Suffering from dry, tired, irritated eyes? Don't let dry eyes win. Use Sustain Pro. It hydrates, restores, and protects dry eyes for up to 12 hours. Sustain Pro. Triple action dry eye relief.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
You know, folks, we still have a problem that exists in America, and that is the illegals, the migrants. President Trump and his administration, his team, they have done an outstanding job of shutting down the border. That's not our problem right now. The problem happens to be the illegals that are already here, that the administration has not been able to get out of the country yet. They're being blocked every day by the court system. ICE officers are being blocked every day. And so I just have two short stories I want you to think about here. One here is from Fox News. And we know that recent plot at the UFC fight at the White House. Well, it turns out that one of the terror plot organizers happens to be a DACA recipient. This from Fox News.
News alert, DHS confirming the suspected ringleader accused in a plot to carry out a mass casualty attack at the UFC event at the White House on Sunday is an illegal immigrant.
Mark Meredith is live outside the White House with more. Hey, Mark.
Brian Ainsley and Charlie, good morning, friends. The federal investigation into Sunday's alleged terror plot on the UFC South Lawn event remains ongoing. Investigators looking into how this transpired, what was planned, as well as believing that many as 20 people may have been involved. Our colleagues over at Fox Digital report the alleged ringleader of this incident, Abraham Alvarez, was in the country illegally from Mexico, but also may have been granted DACA status, allowed to stay back in the Obama administration. He was arrested back in Omaha, Nebraska, and we expect to learn more about his background as the head of the UFC says security was certainly top of mind.
Did you have any idea that this was happening? Somebody was apparently planning to do something horrible on Sunday.
Yeah, there was more than that. There was more than that. And yes, I was in the loop on all of the stuff that was happening in real time.
So that's one of two. And when all of these things are going on, what I'm thinking about is time after time, day after day, when you folks call me, and in particular, it touches my heart when I hear from senior citizens that say, Dominic, I got to make a choice over paying my rent or having something to eat. I've got to make a choice over having something to eat or paying my bills or being forced to do things that no American should be forced to do. And it just boils my blood that all of us have paid into our tax system, paid taxes for years, and you have these illegals, migrants that are here pimping the system and making a fool out of all of us, receiving government services, having 2, 3, 4 babies, women on the taxpayer, and then they're American citizens, and then the pimp starts all over. Yes, the pimp. It's the pimping of the American people. So that's one of two that I wanted you to hear. The other one happens to be at a Massachusetts food stamp fraud ring. Guess what? 11 out of 15 people charged. 11 out of 15, this is Massachusetts, food stamp fraud, happen to be illegals.
Alarmingly, 11 of the 15 charged defendants are suspected illegal aliens, some of whom assumed stolen identities to steal these taxpayer-funded benefits and avoid detection. American citizens were boxed out of these programs because illegal aliens took their names to then take their money.
That was the Justice Department just moments ago announcing 15 people are being charged with food stamp fraud in Massachusetts. The scams exploited food stamp, housing, and health care programs, costing taxpayers more than $1.4 million. 11 illegal immigrants, including some who have been living under stolen identities, are among those charged.
So it just boils my blood. It really does, folks. It's not supposed to be this way. What happened to the America that we all love, respect, and many have given their lives for? For these illegals to come here and pimp the American people? One of the major reasons why I'm down with President Trump, 1,000%.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?